Hey, welcome to my recreation of Castlevania II Simon's Quest on Super Mario Maker 2. I gotta kind of adjust my camera. Yeah, so what I went and did is I got on NESmaps.com and recreated every single level as best as I could in Castlevania II Simon's Quest. And I put them all in a world map, so yeah, all the enemies I had to replace with like the Mario enemies, and you know, definitely had to improvise since they're two different games, but that was kind of the fun of it. This took me about a month to make, maybe even longer. And since Castlevania is a non-linear game, and this actually has like a time limit and a beginning and end, and you know, there's kind of like a limit to how many pipes and doors you could use, so I had to split this up into levels. So right here is where it starts in the town of Jova. I couldn't add all the doors because, as I mentioned, we're kind of limited, but here's where you get the thorn whip. But in this case, it's a mushroom. And we're going to head right. Yeah, so I used the red Koopas as the like skeletons you see. And in the hopping Koopas, like those one characters, when you get close to them, they start hopping. Okay, this part can be kind of hard because you got the dry bones, shooting bones, and if you drop in that water right there, you cannot jump back up. So you got no choice but to die. Which that wasn't part of my planning, it just happened that way. Yeah, creating the steps is the hardest part of this game because it doesn't really match up the distance. Okay, first we're going to go down to the town of Burros. This is what I use for the door. Here's where you get your chain whip. See, if you go over here, you can kind of see the cave. Yeah, Mario can definitely jump a lot higher and further than Simon Belmont can. Okay, Okay, and here's where we make it to Mansion 1. So I thought to end the level right there. I'm actually going to pull up nesmaps.com on my screen on my laptop because I can't necessarily remember all the names of the towns. I know you got the town of Jova, the town of Rose, but the other ones I'm not really sure about, so I'm going to bring up the maps. Okay, got that on my screen now. Yeah, so each mansion I split into just one single level. This is Mansion 1. I wish you could carry your items from the previous level into this one, like into the next one. Yeah, I rebuilt this entire, like all the mansions, block by block, which was a long process, but at the same time it was kind of fun. Yeah, this is not easy. Wow, I mean, and then the game cheats too. I mean, he should have turned around by then, but it's like they have things happen when they're not supposed to. I mean, it's the AI, but they don't do a very good job of it, of hiding it. So it's like these games, the AI is designed to cheat, but it's like you can see it. See the game cheating. I mean, you can sit there and watch. Like, let's say he throws a bone every 5 seconds, for example. Or you might just happen to jump in front of him 4 seconds since his last bone, and one would just happen to come out a second earlier. Like, and when you see it happening enough, you start to recognize it. It's like, I mean, cheat if you have to, but at least don't make it so obvious. That's where it's kind of like buying the oak steak, you hit the on-off switch. See, this game's going to go much faster than my playthrough of the actual game that I did last week because I don't have to spend all the time farming for hearts. There, I now process Dracula's rib. Oh. It's hard to believe yesterday was the first day of spring. It definitely felt like it here in the Midwest, which is crazy because less than a week ago, last Monday, it snowed. And we got like 6 inches of snow. I drove all the way to work to find out work was canceled, so I drove all the way back. And it's an 8-mile drive from my house to work, or from my girlfriend's house to work. Now I'm pretty much living with my girlfriend, but both of our houses are like 8 miles away from work. And so I drive 8 miles there and then drive 8 miles back. And then yesterday I get up to near 80 degrees. It might have even reached 80 degrees, I'm not sure, but. And currently it is 49 degrees, so I pretty much had every season this week. Okay, so that's out of Mansion 1. We're going to proceed to the right. Oh, and those are the spiders up there. It's kind of the best I could do for the spiders. Here's where you get the sacred flame. Actually, I can't go down the steps here because I have to split that to another level, but here's the town of Algebra. Let's get our blue crystal. You know, I think I forgot to get my fire flower. Oh, okay, so that's Camilla Cemetery, but first we want to get the garlic. Oh, so I can get the garlic and that. So the P block is the garlic. Now I'll set this garlic down in the cemetery and I'll summon a stranger, which will give us that. So you can't go any further right. Yeah, so I was taking screenshots of this off my laptop, pictures with my phone, and then every morning when I'd wake up at my girlfriend's house, I would spend about an hour before work designing a little bit more of the game. I usually wake up for work like a few hours before I have to be to work. And here's Mansion 2. Yeah, what really made me mad was the cancel work Monday, which, I mean, people are probably like, okay, cool, you know, work's canceled. But I knew exactly what was going to happen. They decided to have us work Saturday. And now I don't mind working Saturday once in a while if it's going to be time and a half, but they canceled Monday, which nobody asked for, and then they make us work Saturday. I mean, it's bad enough working Saturday when it's overtime, but working Saturday for straight time is like, that's not going to happen. So I put in PTO Friday to get Saturday off, but I had plans anyway. Girlfriend's daughter had track meet, so I wanted to go to that. Here's Mansion 2. So these are the 4 blocks that you can jump through normally. Yeah, I switched back and forth between the mansions. Some of them went like Ghost House, then Castle, Ghost House, Castle, back and forth. Let's get our oak stake here. You idiot. So now to get this, it's going to require me to take a hit, but I can do that. See, I should have did something with the cannon, like had it shoot out coins or something, so it wouldn't hurt you, because in the real game, it's not actually shooting anything, it's just moving back and forth, trying to push you off the edge. So, I mean, I could have fixed that to make it a little easier. Oh, and here's those crazy jumps. See, you can jump a lot higher than Simon Belmont could, which makes those jumps a little easier. And the enemies don't respawn unless you go through a door or pipe and back. Yeah, I built like the entire level, like from bottom to top, even though we don't go like up all the way up there. There's some areas where I didn't do that, but I think as far as the mansions, I think I built them like 100%. Okay, so now we're going to head to the left. Right on these things over the water. See, in this game, Mario can swim, Simon Belmont can't, so in some cases when you fall in the water, it's not going to be that big of a deal in this game. You are nasty. Yeah, there's some parts of this game that are harder than the original game. I've really been getting into the series Lucifer on Netflix. I didn't realize it came out so long ago, like 10 years ago. But, yeah, my girlfriend, fiance actually, was watching it. And while I was kind of playing my video games here and there, she'd be playing, so I'd be kind of like catching bits and pieces of the show, and I started getting into it. Here's the church in Gross, by the way. You need your stuff. So anyway, I started getting interested in it and decided to start watching it. She's in season 5 though, and I'm in halfway through season 2. But then again, she's also watching multiple series on different streaming platforms. I have to stick to one show and watch that all the way through before moving on to something different. Okay, now we're going to head to the left. Okay, so this is one part where it's hard. Unless you just do it like that. But there's been many times where I kept dying. Actually, I think it might have just been yesterday or the day before when I was playing this game. I wanted to see do like a full playthrough before I actually recorded it. And I died like 4 times in a row in that spot. Sometimes it's just easier to keep running while you got the post of invincibility. So here we are back in the town of Jova, the beginning. Gonna go into the church. Get our power-ups. This is like the poisonous marsh, but it's not really poisonous to us in this game. Here's where you take the ferryman across the river, and this is where you got your heart equipped, so he's going to take you to Mansion 3. I'm actually working on creating a level 2. I just started yesterday. I'm not quite through it, so I won't really be able to show it today. Okay, so here we're going to Mansion 3. Sometimes I can make it over these, sometimes I can't. I'm going to take a shell with you in here. Oh, I guess you don't need to because you got that one. Makes it a little bit easier. Yeah, it makes it easy to wait for this Koopa too. I got my oak steak. Here's where those are like the bats, and that's the whatever you call it, where you get the golden knife out of. I guess Grim Reaper. But you don't really get anything up for killing him in this game. Really? haven't seen that series yet, Lucifer, I highly recommend it. It's a pretty good episode. So you got the guy playing as Lucifer, who's the devil. He leaves hell and decides to take a vacation on Earth, and he likes it, so he decides to stay, and he becomes the owner of a nightclub, and he's rich. He's got all kinds of girlfriends. And then there's an angel, Amenadiel, that comes down to Earth to tell him, you know, your father requests you go back to the underworld. And Lucifer's not having any of it. But anyway, Lucifer starts helping this detective named Chloe. They start investigating all these crimes together, and he starts falling in love with her, and it turns out that normally he's immortal. You got like these bad guys shooting at him, the bullets don't affect him. But whenever Chloe is near him, he's mortal and he can actually get shot, so it's a pretty interesting story. You got all these different angels showing up and interacting with them. There's one girl that's a demon, and it's pretty much every episode's like crime investigation. But yeah, his attitude's really funny too. He's like kind of cocky and conceited, but pretty funny. Okay, here's those jumping blocks. And that's why I put water in there, because I didn't want to make it as hard as the real game. Oh, these are the eagles that swoop down and attack you. Okay, here's where you get the diamond from that guy on the cliff. Go back this way. We're gonna go back across, you know, like the ferryman thing. Whoa. And now this will take us the other direction. This is the town of Alba. This is where you exchange your blue crystal for your red crystal. I'm not sure if I got anything else up there or not. Those are the little happy things. Oh, is this? Oh, never mind. Yeah, this part's kind of hard. Those are those hands that can reach up through the ground. And let's see, that's where you get the, is that the soap bag, I think? See, inside of Belmont would have to use the Laurel to get through the spikes, but Mario can jump higher, so kind of works for us. Oh, you are so nasty. Okay, and this is the next town of, let's see, this would be Andol, the town that's all purple. Yeah, I keep forgetting this game's got a time limit, so I gotta pause it. But yeah, this is the town of Andol. Let's see what we get here. So this is where we get... You know what, I think I made a mistake. So this is actually... Oh no, that's right. Okay, this is the town of Andol that has the Morning Star, so... Yes, I picked... So that's... So yeah, getting the cape was like getting the Morning Star. Oh, and here's where you kneel with the red crystal for the tornado. Okay, so here is Mansion 4. And you got, kind of like in the rolling one, you got those rocks that fall. Put the spikes in there. I need the fire back. That's kind of like my holy water for breaking the blocks. There's my hook stake. Yeah, I had to cut some of this level out, like that long bridge you walk across to get from one side to the other. I just didn't have room to include that, so it was just a very short section of the mansion. Okay, now we're going to proceed to the left. This is where you use your red crystal and crouch down for a little bit and just open up and you go down here. I forgot to mention that about the same thing with the blue crystal on the other side, just before Mansion 2. Yeah, you want to take this with you, although it is not easy to carry when we get to this next section. Not here, but once you get through this pipe, you want to carry this with you, and it's not easy because you got like all these enemies. Yep, see, and then that happens. See, without the P block, you can't get your start across this, so you're going to have to take a hit. And there's Mansion 5. It's actually fun recreating other video games, like levels from other games. So far I did Super Mario Brothers 2. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching that one because that was fun. See, that one was much easier to kind of, I don't want to say necessarily easier to make, but it was easier to put together to be more like a Mario game because I'm making it with a Mario game. So I mean, each level is split into levels, whereas a game like this, there's really no linear, like no time limit or anything in Simon's Quest. Oh, you are nasty. There's that thing that swoops around in circles. I'll take another one of these with me. Or not. Now that we finished mansion number 5, all we do is just keep heading to the right. This is how we get across Poisonous Marsh. Wow, really, my cape had no effect on him, huh? I mean, clearly, they just like cheat right in front of your eyes. They don't even try to hide it. I mean, when you swing your cape, it's supposed to hit an enemy. We all know that. And it just did not even affect him at all. There's Mansion 4 again. I should have included like something dropping out of the pipe, either a fire flower or like the feather or something. Oh, and here's one small town where everyone's mad. Yeah, they're like, after Castlevania, I warned you not to come back. So sick. I think one of these levels, I think it might have been that one right there, I was going to include a checkpoint marker. But then I decided not to because I figured, you know, it is a short level. But yeah, there's one of those levels I was getting frustrated with. Oh, here I added a little different kind of look. And I wanted to throw a background in here, and I forgot all about doing that. Make it look more like a cave. Here's that last town that's like a ghost town. There's only one person living in it. the eagles again that swoop down and attack. I found a different way of making them this time. All these types are supposed to be like the tombstones in the cemetery. Yeah, those are supposed to be the 2 blocks you break with holy water. This is the last bridge before the mansion. But then you can just jump right over it. Okay, here's our final mansion, Dracula's castle. This one was kind of interesting to make. I had to create it from the bottom right hand corner going up. Here's the blocks you break with your holy water. No enemies, so that's pretty easy. Just as easy to beat as Dracula. Oh, and I included this little ending, kind of my own thing I thought would be fun to do. Oh wait, there's more. If you played Castlevania II Simon's Quest, you're gonna recognize this. What a horrible night to have a curse. So that was my recreation of Castlevania II Simon's Quest. Pretty fun to make. I've done a lot of recreations of things such as, you know, we've already seen videos on them, like let's see if I can give some examples. Okay, so this one, there's the recreation of the first level of Mickey Mousecapade. And there I recreated level 1 of Legend of Zelda on the NES. So level 1 I recreated. I recreated the whole game of Super Mario Bros. 2, and now we just got to see my recreation of Castlevania II Simon's Quest. I kind of created Metroid, but I didn't really use the map. I just kind of used the idea of how there's so much up and downs and left and rights. There's like so many ways to go, and then you kill the boss. And after you beat the boss, you still have to make it all the way back out. So yeah, I kind of did that. I think that's the only thing I recreated as far as different games. But who knows, maybe I'll come up with ideas to do some other ones, so at some point. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one. Next weekend I'm going to be doing, next couple weekends I'm going to be doing 2-player videos with my fiance Crystal. Probably Family Feud and Wheel of Fortune on the Nintendo Switch. So hope you enjoyed this one, and see you in the next video.